Good evening. So last class we have seen about necessary and sufficient condition for this product to be convergence. Correct. This converges if and only if we have the corresponding series converges. This converges. Correct. So last class we have proved this. Now we will just see one example and move on to the next section. Okay. So an example of the product, and also we have proved that this converges if and only if summation mod an converges. Correct. This converges absolutely if and only if this summation mod an converges. Correct. 1 plus an. Okay. So here we have an example for the n from 1 to infinity. 1 plus minus 1 to the power n plus 1 by n. Okay. 1 plus minus 1 to the power n plus 1 by n. Okay. So we have to prove the convergence of this. We have to prove this converges and to which it will converge. Okay. So two things we have to do. First we will prove that this converges, then we will find to where it will converge. Okay. Fine. So for proving convergence we can use this. We can use this. What is that? Product converges if and only if, converges absolutely if and only if summation mod an converges. Absolute convergence implies convergence, so no need to worry about that. So summation mod an converges. So we have to check this. What is an here? Here an is minus 1 to the power n plus 1 by n. Correct? This is your an. So mod an is 1 by n, and we know that summation 1 by n are divergent. Correct? This will diverge. So this product doesn't converge absolutely. Okay, this doesn't converge absolutely. Okay, fine. Now we can see about the partial product. Then we can, this converges absolutely, but it may converge there. Okay, it doesn't converge absolutely. We have heard from this thing. Okay, but it may converge. Converge simply, not absolute convergence, simple convergence there. Okay, so for that we have to investigate about the partial product there. Okay, so what is the partial product here? Pn, we write this, and this will be from k from 1 to n, 1 plus minus 1 to the power k plus 1 by k. So see what is your p1, p2 and so on. p1 is just 1 minus 1 square by 1. So this is 2. Okay. 2, which we can write as 1 plus 1. p2 will be, p2 is, this is 3. So we have this 2 into 1 plus 1 minus 1 by 2. Correct? So 1 minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2. So which will be 1 always. Okay, like that we will get. So P3 also same thing. This 1 into 3 is 1 plus 1 by 3, which is 4 by 3. Okay, 4 by 3 we can write it as, here we have written 1 plus 1 here, correct? Or this can be written as 1 plus 1 by 1. Okay, so this also we can write it as 1 plus 1 by 3. 1 plus 1 by 3. So like that we can move on. So your Pn will be, and if you consider P4 will be 4 by 3 into something we will get. So there this 4 by 3 will be cancelled out and we will be getting 1 over there. So for all the even multiples we will get, if n is even we will get this as 1, and for n is odd we will get, what is this, 1 plus 1 by n. 1 plus 1 by n or n plus 1 by n. Okay, so this is your Pn. So this you can just get from here, or you can prove by induction. If you want to prove this, you can prove by induction. Okay, fine. So where this will converge? Pn will always converge to 1 here. As n goes to infinity, either of the cases converges to 1. Correct? So this is your convergence. So this product converges but doesn't converge absolutely. Okay, that comes from this. Okay, fine. So this is your example. We will move on to the next section. Okay. Next section is we have to prove Weierstrass product theorem. Weierstrass product theorem we have to prove. Okay. So we'll just see why that Weierstrass product theorem is needed. Then we will go to the theorem. Okay. So consider a function f. F is entire function. Entire means it is analytic everywhere in the whole complex field. Okay. So f is a entire function. If we consider entire function, then e power f is also entire. This is obvious. Okay. This is obvious. There is nothing to verify here. Okay. But the question is the other way. Okay. The other way. Whenever we have a function f, which is entire, whether there exists a function g such that e power g is this f, whether this is true or not. So if this is the case, we know that e power x is never 0, correct? So what property f should have? F should be never 0. That means non-vanishing function. Okay, f is non-vanishing entire function. If that is there, any non-vanishing entire function, for any non-vanishing entire function, there is always a entire function such that e power g, e power exponential of that function is your f. This you have to prove. So check this. So for proving means what you have to do? Given this is given you, this is given, we have to construct g so that this happens. Correct? So f is given, f dash exists because it is the entire function, f dash exists. So let h be f dash by f. This is just a trick of getting this g. Okay. One is consider this f dash by f. Okay. So f dash by f means h is also entire function. Okay. This implies h as a primitive we have seen this in complex integration. Okay. Any such function have primitive. No need to remove the cell. You have seen there are such thing. Integral f dash by f. So primitive means what? It is nothing but integration. Okay. Integration of h. So we have a primitive, say some k of z such that k dash of z is h of z. Okay. This is not a primitive definition. Okay. So h as a primitive means integral of h. That is k. So that derivative of k is your h. Okay. Fine. Fine. Now consider, we have to find, what you have to do here, we have to find f. F is equal to what? That is nothing but e power g we have to prove. Okay. So we have to do something with this exponential and this k. Okay. So what we can consider is, consider f of z into e power minus k of z. Consider this function. F of z is given function, exponential of minus k of z, this k of z. Okay. Find the derivative of this function. Find the derivative of this function. Okay. So what we will get here? F dash of z into e power minus k of z plus f of z into minus k dash of z into e power minus k of z. Okay. We know that k dash of z is h of z. H of z is f dash of z by f of z. So f of z will be cancelled over there. So this can be replaced by minus f dash by f. So this f and this f will be cancelled. So it will be minus f dash k of z. Sorry, minus f dash e power minus k of z here plus. So this will be 0. So derivative is 0 means what? Function is constant. So f of z into e power minus k of z is a constant. That means f of z is constant times e power minus k of z, and this constant we can write it as e power log c, right? E power log c into e power minus k of z. So this will be e power log c minus k of z. Sorry. minus k of z. Okay. So what we have got? We have got f of z is given a function f which is not vanishing anywhere, an entire function. We have found something so that f of z is equal to e power log c minus k of z, which is written as e power g of z. K is entire function, correct? K is an entire function because k has a primitive. This is true for any z in C, correct? Because h is entire. Since h is entire, we have these things, okay? So e power f is written as e power g of z, where g is an entire function. So we have got this. This is true always. Okay. So whenever an entire function which is not vanishing everywhere is given, we can always find an entire function such that e power that entire function is the given function. Okay. Remember this. Then consider this. Consider again an entire function. Okay, f is entire with zeros. Now we will speak about zeros of this. Let a1, a2 and so on up to a and b zeros of f. Then how f of z can be written? F of z can be written as z minus a1, z minus a2 and so on up to z minus an into f is entire, correct? I have written these things into some function we have to write here. Okay, that function also will be entire because of f is entire. That should be entire. So any function, any entire function can be written as e power g. Okay, so here also that entire function I can write as e power g of z. Okay, e power g of z. Now, or this can be written as e power g of z into the product I from 1 to n z minus a. Correct. N numbers are there. So this is equal to e power g of z into the product. What I can do is, for each of those elements I can take ai outside there. Okay, then this will be, so provided ai is not equal to 0 for any. Okay, these ai's are not equal to 0. Okay, that I need. If it is 0, that is separate case that we will see later. Okay, so assume that these ai's are not equal to 0 so that we can take ai outside there. Okay, minus ai outside. Okay, then this will be minus 1 to the power n into, and minus 1 from each of the element, minus also we are taking out. Okay, minus 1 to the power n into a1, a2 and so on up to an into the product I from 1 to n 1 minus z by a. This is it. Okay. This is it. Now we can write this as e power h of z into the product I from 1 to n 1 minus z by a. Should I write like this? Because e power h of z is nothing but, see, this thing I am writing in e power h of z, because each of those ai can be written as e power log I. Correct? ai similar to this. C we have written as e power log c. So similarly there also all these ai's we can write as e power log ai. Okay, e power log a1, e power log a2. So like that if you write, then it will be e power g of z plus those things will be there, log with log. Okay, so I can write as e power h of z into this product where h is entire. Okay, so till this we have written this. Now here ai's are not equal to 0, correct? If it is 0, then f as, suppose f as m number of zeros at origin. If this is 0, it is origin only. At origin. Then what? F as zeros as 0 itself. Okay. Then here what we have to multiply? If a are there, we have multiplied by z minus a1, z minus a2. So here 0 means z minus 0 to the power n. So that means this will be e power h of z into z power m into the product I from 1 to n 1 minus z by a. Okay. this is the final term we have. But this is, all of these things are finite case. What about infinite case? That's what we need. Okay. So infinite case means how this will looks like e power h of z in the case of infinite case. This can be written as e power h of z z power m into the product n from 1 to infinity 1 minus z by n. Shall I write like this in the case of infinite? But if I want to write this should converge. This infinite product should converge, correct? So this infinite product converges if and only if something happens here. Summation mod a n converges. One thing I missed there. I have to speak about this as a function. Okay, that I have missed there. Just stop here, I will do that and come back. Okay. The thing is, since now we have seen that n from 1 to infinity 1 plus a n, this is what the product we have seen. What happens if this itself is a function? Till now we have seen this as elements only, some numbers only. This itself we can see it a function. Those things only we have got here. Correct? That's what we have got here. So that is how that will look like. N from 1 to infinity 1 plus fn of z. This itself is a function. That means this is sequence of complex functions. Okay. So this converges if converges on some set omega which is a subset of C. This converges on this if the product n from 1 to infinity. See, this will become like this. When this will be like this will look like this if z is replaced by something, correct? So if it is replaced by z equal to a, then this will be like this, similar to this. So at each of the points inside omega we can speak about the convergence of this, so that this problem will be rectified. So this converges on omega if product n from 1 to infinity 1 plus fn of a converges. This is true for every a in omega. If this happens for every a in omega, then we can say that this product of the functions converges on omega. Okay, that is what this convergence means. Okay, we know how this will converge. Those things we have seen. Okay, so we can use this property. Clear? Also, this product n from 1 to infinity 1 plus fn of z, this converges uniform convergence. Okay, this is product, not series. Product. This converges uniformly. So uniform convergence means either we should have some series or sequence, so that we know all the properties before, so we can do something with that. Okay, so we have to change this as some sequence or series and prove the uniform convergence. Okay, so this converges uniformly if there is a sequence I from 1 to n 1 plus fi of z. You got it? This is the sequence now. Partial sum sequence, say partial product sequence of partial product. If that sequence of partial product converges uniformly on omega, then this will converge uniformly on omega. Okay, that is what the definition of uniform convergence of the product. Okay, similarly, absolute convergence we can see. Summation n from product n from 1 to infinity 1 plus fn of z converges absolutely if That is like this only. Converges absolutely if this converges absolutely. If product n from 1 to infinity 1 plus fn of e converges absolutely. Okay. So this is all about your product, infinite product with functions inside. Okay, infinite product of functions. Okay. So function converges if at each of the point this will converge, and converges uniformly if partial product sequence converges uniformly, and this also same. Okay. Now you go to that. So here where we have started? We have started with f is an entire function with zeros at ai's, and all the ai's are not equal to 0. Okay. If it is 0, we are speaking with this. So let m be number of zeros at origin. Okay. Then we have written as z power m into this product. So now in the case of infinite, we have this. Okay. So this is similar to this product n from 1 to infinity 1 plus fn of z. Here 1 minus z by a. This is a function of z. Fn of z, where fn of z is minus z by a. Okay, this we have. Fine. Now, so we have to speak about the convergence of this. If this product converges, then we can say that this function can be written as like this. Okay, in the case of infinite number of zeros. If f has infinite number of zeros, a is as zeros, then we can do something with that. Okay, fine. So we know that this product converges if this converges. Correct. This converges if and only if we have seen summation mod a n converges, absolute convergence. Correct. So we can use that here. Correct. So if this converges if and only if, converges absolutely if and only if summation mod a n. Mod a n means what is this here? Mod z by mod a n should converges. Correct. Leave about mod z, because if you have mod z there, it will only give the region where it will converge. Okay. So no need to worry about that. We just have to discuss this. If this converges, then we can say this converges and everything will be solved. Okay. Now, this converges implies what? If suppose this converges, we know that a n converges to 0, means in the case of summation a n will converge to, summation a n converges means a n will converge to 0. So summation 1 by a n converges means a n should converge to infinity. Okay, so this is what we need. This is what the condition we need in the Weierstrass product theorem. Okay, so in the case of infinite, we have this condition. Okay, in the case of finite, we have nothing to do. Just directly we can write. So in the case of infinite, we should have a n tends to infinity and prove such representation is there for such entire function. Okay, so now we will prove the Weierstrass product theorem. So Weierstrass product theorem. So Weierstrass product theorem is for a function f which is entire and have zeros at a1, a2 and so on up to an infinite case. Finite or infinite, but in the case of infinite, an should go to infinity, diverge, not converge. Okay, so in that case, an should be going to infinity. So there exists an entire. So Weierstrass product what it says is there exists an entire function with these zeros and zeros also. I said zeros at origin, m number of zeros. Okay, there are only m number of zeros. That will be only finite. Okay, so there exists an entire function f with zeros. Only zeros are these things, either this or this or both. Okay, only zeros are this. That can be represented as something like this. So that representation will be f of z is equal to e power g of z. That this is just a thing which we are getting there. So I will use g of z itself. Okay. So e power g of z into z power m for this zeros into product n from 1 to infinity 1 minus z by an. This is what this is. Some extra term is there, that is e power z by an plus 1 by 2 z by an to the power 2 plus and so on up to 1 by mn z by an to the power mn. Okay, so this is the representation for such entire function. Okay, any entire function with ai's are zeros and origin some finite number of zeros are there, any such entire function can be written like this. Okay, so we have got here almost. So only thing is, in the case of infinite case, we are getting some extra term here. So this extra term we are getting because of the while in the procedure of proving this convergence, we are getting that extra term there. Okay, so we will see in the proof where we are getting this extra term, and there is something else also. This mn. So mn is an integer. Mn is some integer which we have to find there. So that we will find it there. Okay, what is that integer? And what else? G is an entire function. Here G is an entire function, and main thing is this product is taken over n from 1 to infinity. We are just telling n from 1 to infinity that, but actually what it depends on? It depends on this sequence, this an. Okay, so this product is taken over all the zeros of f. Okay, that is there. So that's all. So we will start proving that Weierstrass product there. So proof of this theorem. So given is f is entire. Given function is f. That's not given. Sir. This is not given. Any function which is having that properties will be looking like this. That's all you have to do. F is not given. Okay. So given is what? Given is the sequence. Okay. Given is the sequence an converging to infinity. This is given. Okay. And zeros are there. That's also there. Okay. And an going to infinity. Okay. So something diverging means what? Let r be greater than 0. Something is diverging means usually we will have, if it is converging to a, we have mod an minus a is less than epsilon. Correct? So within that epsilon neighborhood, some infinite number of elements will be there after some stage. Right? But in the case of this diverging, there will be infinite number of elements from the sequence which will be outside this neighborhood. Correct? So if we consider this R, then there exists only finite number of elements, finite number of AIs inside this neighborhood mod z less than or equal to R. Correct? Because of the diverging. There will be only finite number of AIs inside mod z less than or equal to R. Correct? Then consider z be such that mod z less than or equal to R and an such that mod an greater than R. So there is some reason between that. We will see why we are taking that. Okay. So mod, consider z be a complex number such that mod z less. Inside you are taking z, outside we are taking an. That's all. Okay. So we have some neighborhood at around 0, which is radius r, inside we are taking z, outside we are taking all the ants which are all there outside this. Okay, all the ants which are all there outside this neighborhood. Okay, fine. Then what happens to this z by n? Mod z by n. Mod z is less than or equal to r, so this is less than or equal to r by mod n, and we know that this is there. R by mod n is less than 1, so this is less than 1. Okay, so this says that mod z by n is less than 1. Correct. Then we know that by Taylor series of log 1 minus z by n. Okay, this way. 1 minus z by n is minus z by n. Okay, so consider like this, plus minus of this, like this. Okay, minus z by n plus 1 by 2 into minus z by an the whole square plus 1 by 3 into here minus here plus minus z by an the whole cube and so on. Correct? This we have. This is infinite terms are there. Okay, we can stop it somewhere. Plus 1 by mn z minus z by n to the power mn and so on. Okay, stop it somewhere and consider this separately and that separately. That means how we can write this? We can write this as Pn of z. This is a polynomial, correct? First mn terms. Polynomial plus Rn of z. Okay, so no, sorry. Instead of considering like that, what I will do is consider minus of this. Okay, then what is your Pn of z? Actually, it should be like this. Let Pn of z is this n terms with no minus will be there. Okay, z by an plus 1 by 2 z by an to the power 2 plus and so on up to 1 by mn z by an to the power mn. So this is the term which we are having in the exponential power. Okay, that we have to prove there. So Pn of z. So minus Pn of z means all we will get this. Okay, plus Rn of z. And Rn of z is difference of these two, log 1 minus z by n minus this, so plus this. So log 1 minus z by n plus Pn of z. Okay, that is your Rn of z, which is equal to, what is that? The remaining term. So start from 1 by mn plus 1 into z by an to the power mn plus 1 plus 1 by mn plus 2 z by an to the power mn plus 2 plus and so on. Okay, consider modulus of that. Okay, which is less than or equal to 1 by mn plus 1 into mod z by an to the power mn plus 1 plus 1 by mn plus 2 mod z by an to the power mn plus 2 plus and so on. So in all the terms this same thing will be there, infinite number of terms. Okay, in this, what is mod z? Mod z is less than or equal to r, so this will be less than or equal to 1 by mn plus 1. Don't do anything for an, that let it be as it is there. Okay, so mod z can be written as r power mn plus 1 by mod an to the power mn plus 1 plus 1 by mn plus 2 r to the power mn plus 2 by mod an to the power mn plus 2 plus and so on. So here we can take something common. R power mn plus 2 is r power mn plus 1 plus 1. So r power mn plus 1 will be common everywhere, take out, and mod n to the power mn plus 1 will be common everywhere, take that also outside. Then we will do something. So I'll write the steps directly. This will be 1 by mn plus 1 into r power mn plus 1 by mod an to the power mn plus 1. Take all these things outside. Then inside what will be there? This will be 1 plus mn plus 1 by mn plus 2 into r square by mod an square r by mod n plus mn plus 1 by mn plus 3 into r square by mod an square plus and so on. Okay, this is less than this. Mn plus 1 is less than mn plus 2, so this will be less than or equal to 1 by mn plus 1 r power mn plus 1 by mod an to the power mn plus 1 into less than 1 plus r by mod n plus r square by mod n square plus r. Okay, we know that r by mod n is less than 1. So this infinite series converges to what? 1 by 1 minus r by mod n, because 1 plus z square and so on with mod z less than 1 means that will be 1 by 1 minus z. So here r by mod n is there. So this will be equal to 1 by mn plus 1 r power mn plus 1 by mod n to the power mn plus 1 into 1 by 1 minus r by mod n. Okay, this is there. So what you have got? Mod Rn of z is less than this. Okay, we have got. So why we are doing is we have to speak about the convergence of series of this. Okay, so here we didn't told what you have to do, how to get this mn. Correct? Mn we just take randomly and go on. Okay, so there we have to choose the mn. So choose mn such that the series n from 1 to infinity 1 by mn plus 1 r by mod n to the power mn plus 1 converges. Why we have to do that? We know that an less than or equal, we have a sequence here that is less than or equal to something whose series is converges. If that happens, then by y plus m test we can tell that this series converges uniformly. Correct? So we are doing this. So choose this mn so that this depends on mn. Correct? An is already there, so this depends on mn. So choose mn such that this series converges. Okay. So after choosing that, this series will converge. Then by y plus m test, we can tell that summation mod Rn of z converges uniformly on mod z less than or equal to r with mod an greater than r. So z we have chosen mod z less than or equal to r, a answer mod an greater than r. So these two things should be there always. Okay. So this series converges uniformly. Converges uniformly means it converges. I mean, modulus of this converges means summation Rn of z also converges uniformly. Everything will be there. Okay. Now, what is Rn of z? Actual Rn of z is log 1 minus z by an plus Pn of z. Correct. So Rn of z is, that means summation Rn of z will be, I'll write here, summation Rn of z will be summation log 1 minus z by an plus Pn of z. Summation is for both common. Correct. Take exponential on both sides. E power summation Rn of z is equal to e power summation. E power summation means it will be product. Correct. E power summation log 1 minus z by an plus Pn of z if this is there, e power summation is there means that will be product, correct? So this will be equal to, log is common for both, sorry, not common. So to make it common, what I will do is Pn of z I will write it as e power log, sorry, log e power Pn of z. Okay, log e power Pn of z means, then how this will be log a plus log b, that is log ab, e power Pn of z. Now log is common here. So e power summation log of this will be product, product log will be cancelled. So this will be 1 minus z by an into e power Pn of z. Okay. So I didn't put any index here. Why is it? Because this series depends on this an. Mod a, which are all an is greater than mod an, which are all an satisfies mod an greater than r, only those, for those ans we have to do this summation. So we can't write directly like n from 1 to infinity and all, because something will be missing which will be inside this, correct, inside this. There will finite number of a's are inside this, so there can be something missing over there, so I can't put directly n from 1 to infinity. So let it be, or we can write it as mod an greater than r, like that we can add. Okay, anything, or we can leave it as it is, later we can write that. Okay, so here also this product varies over mod an greater than r, which are all an is satisfying mod an greater than r, that will be coming there. Okay, so what you have got now, e power summation Rn of z is the product mod an greater than r 1 minus z by an e power Pn of z. Okay, here, so we have got something here. And moreover, this is an entire function. Okay, this is entire means what? This is entire. This entire means summation Rn of z is entire. So here itself we have to tell that. So the summation Rn of z is entire function. Because of this converges uniformly, this is an entire function by your Weierstrass theorem. This is Weierstrass theorem which we have done in the last unit. Correct? Weierstrass theorem, if it converges uniformly, there is we have told about the analyticity of the function. Okay, so that is this. Go back and see the statement of Weierstrass theorem and compare to this one. Okay, so this converges uniformly, and so this is an entire function by Weierstrass theorem. So since this is entire, e power that will be also entire. So this is also an entire function. Okay, it's not entire, analytic, because here we didn't take a whole complex bit. Here we have taken only mod z less than or equal to r. Okay, analytic. So here also this is just analytic. Clear? This is an analytic function on mod z less than or equal to r. Okay. Now what is missing here? In that whole series, what is whole product? What is missing here? Mod n greater than r is there, but what about mod n less than r? We know that mod n less than or equal to r, that means ans which is satisfying mod n which is inside this will be only finite number of elements. Only finite number of a's will be inside that. Then in this product some finite number of elements are missing, correct? So if you multiply that finite number of elements, that will be again converging, so there is no problem with that convergence. So this will be equal to, I can write it as mod n greater than r and mod n less than or equal to r. So this is, you can write as n from 1 to infinity itself with 1 minus z by n e power Pn of z. Okay, this is case for ans are not equal to 0. So where I have written ans are, I have tried somewhere. So this is case for ans are not equal to 0 for any n. Okay, if ans are not equal to 0 for any n, then this is true. So then only we can do those things and everything here. Okay, so an is not equal to 0 for any n, then we can do till here. Okay, now what happens if ans are 0? That means sum of ans are 0. So let ans are 0 for some n. So there will be some m number of zeros. M number of zeros. Okay, then what you have to do? Here we have multiplied with z minus ai's. Here z minus, in the place of z minus ai's, if that are 0 means that powers of z will be there. So z minus 0 to the power m. It will be like z into and so on to z. So z power m. So z power m will be multiplied here. Clear? Z power m into this thing. M is independent of this product. Okay, z by z power m. Clear? So e power summation Rn of z is equal to z power m into the product 1 minus z by n into e power pn of z, which is an analytic function on mod z less than or equal to r.